Hello, Chronoholics. Welcome back to another episode of Dive Into the Industry, where we talk to eminent personalities from within the industry to get a glimpse behind the curtain. Today, our guest is Mr. Rahul Shukla, the Vice President and CSMO of the Watches Division at Titan Watches. Welcome, Rahul. Welcome to Chronoholic.
Pleasure meeting you. It's always a pleasure interacting with you, Karan, and sharing insights and learning a lot of stuff that is happening in the watch industry
Yeah,
from an
absolutely.
expert like you.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind to me, but I'm trying. We're trying to propagate the culture of watches in India and thereby also creating a repository of knowledge as well as information where people, and watch buyers especially, who love interacting with us on a daily basis, they can find information and listen to experts like you, industry experts and eminent personalities like you, who can give us, more information about what's actually going on behind the scenes. So let's just dive right into it. You have had a storied past with Titan and Helios. Tell us about your journey at Titan and Helios.
I've been a professional in the fashion and lifestyle space for the last 29 years, largely operating in the apparel space.
Sure.
I've worked with various leading organizations in that space. However, in the last 3 years, I've been working with Titan in the
Sure.
watch industry.
Sure.
And it's been an interesting journey because there's so much happening in the both in the watch category
That's right.
and also how it is panning out for Titan as a as an
Sure.
organization.
Sure.
It's been a roller coaster and a fun-filled journey.
I'm sure, and especially if the last few years have taught us anything, watches could also become an asset class. We saw
You
that
know,
crazy times.
3 years back when I was joining Titan, I
Yeah.
was wondering who would wear a watch to see time.
Yeah.
And while that is true,
Yeah,
because
sure.
I don't think any one of us look at watches to see the time anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Watches have become, an expression of who you are
That's true.
and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Just by looking at your watch, one can tell a lot about who you are.
Absolutely.
It's an expression of your style, your personality, your
Yeah.
status, your mood,
True.
and how you're celebrating your milestones.
Yeah.
It's become a marker of sorts.
Certainly.
And I think that is one of the reasons why we see a surge or a resurge of the analog watch market.
True. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because suddenly more and more people find watches as an expression of, their style statement
Yeah.
and their life stories reflected
True.
on their wrist.
Absolutely. And again, each watch that people buy, each watch that people acquire, has its own relevance, has its own story, and that's why
Absolutely.
watches are luxury, right?
We are no longer in the business of selling watches. We are actually in the business of selling stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you have stories to tell, there are consumers who are willing to buy into those stories, especially those that resonate with them.
Sure. And with India being Titan's own playground, trust me, almost all of 20,000 members of our community have a Titan in their box and therefore a Titan story to tell.
Oh, that's so heartening to see. Titan has had its own journey from largely fashion-centric brand to now a premium, story-rich, horology-led, and a high-aesthetic brand.
Absolutely.
Because that's what lies at the intersection of luxury.
That actually brings me to a wonderful point that Helios has now also diversified into Helios Luxe. Why the dichotomy of products from Helios?
So when Helios' journey has been quite long, in fact around 17 odd years, and it largely started off as a fashion play.
Sure.
So while Helios continues to strengthen its position in the, and it has already become the country's largest retailer in terms of the number of stores, representing 45 plus international brands in the fashion space. Helios Luxe actually has created it's a curated platform of very select international brands who are very rich in their storytelling.
Sure.
They could be popular brands, and there are also a lot of independent maisons, independent story-rich brands.
That's right.
And the purpose of Helios Luxe is to bring alive those stories which many of our Indian consumers would love to experience but have not been exposed to.
Fair, yeah.
We also found that the profile of consumers was very different, and it is reflected in the average price of products. While Helios has its average price that we sell is around 25,000,
Sure.
whereas in Helios Luxe is in excess of 1 lakh.
Wonderful.
So very clearly, there's a distinct difference in the profile of consumers who were coming to our stores, and hence the need to separate and create a separate vertical, which focuses only on the accessible luxury segment, which is 1 to 5 lakh segment, because then you are able to do justice with all the brands that you bring in, because we are not just another watch retailer.
Right.
Like I said, we are a narrator of stories, and to bring alive those stories, the presentation has to be right, the assortment has to be right, the human interaction has to be far more elevated, because luxury is experience driven.
Absolutely.
And hence the need for Helios Luxe as a separate chain. Our accessible luxury segment is actually growing at twice the rate of what the accessible luxury segment is growing, category is growing.
Sure.
So while the accessible luxury segment is growing at around 23%, Helios Luxe is growing at around 46% in that segment.
Wow. Okay.
So very clearly, there is a lot of consumer love, there's a lot of consumer interest, which is partly coming because of the consumer behavior itself.
Absolutely.
And also enabled and driven by a curated set of these luxury brands that we are bringing in.
Yeah. That also speaks volumes about how the Indian consumer has changed over the past 5-7 years, especially. I think all of them are well-traveled, well-read, well-educated. They experience good things outside the country and now are able to access these products, luxury products right here in India, thanks to you, of course. That brings us to why we're here today. I mean, you're bringing in Alexander Shorokhoff. What a fantastic watchmaker, what a manufacturer, what ideologies. How does this collaboration even come about?
Actually, it was a chance discovery. In one of the fairs, we just discovered the brand. The moment I saw those watches, I just fell in love with them. Sure. They're so differentiated. It's a piece of art on your wrist.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And that is how they sign off. Alexander Shorokhoff, the whole philosophy, and I'm in love with that philosophy that people who set targets for themselves do not have the courage for imagination. Wow. And because it's a family-run, small maison, they don't have any limit to the the imagination,
creative freedom, in fact, that they can
employ. The creative freedom that they can do. Sure. I remember Alexander was telling me about when they launched Alexander Shorokhoff for the first time. People just said, "What a crazy watch!"
Yeah, true.
And then they fell in love with it. True. And each watch tells a very unique story. You know, it's been just a few days since we launched Alexander Shorokhoff, and we've already sold, quite a lot of them.
That's amazing.
And while the brand is relatively unknown in this part of the world, the moment consumers come in and they discover the story and they discover the artistic expression of this beautiful, vibrant, unique watches, they just fall in love with them.
I can totally understand, because if these aren't true conversation starter timepieces, then I don't know what is in the world.
Absolutely. And this kind of reinforces the position of Helios Luxe as a narrator of very unique stories.
Especially how you're targeting good brands, you're bringing in good independent horology to India. These are also the sign of the times, because there's demand for it. People want unique stories on their wrist. They want unique products for themselves. And a brand like Alexander Shorokhoff fits the bill perfectly there.
Absolutely.
Tell me, where do you see Alexander Shorokhoff being placed in Helios Luxe stores? Because monetarily, of course, and value-wise, how do you position the brand?
So the thing with creative people is that you can't put, and like I said in his philosophy, there's no target set for him.
Sure.
The expansion of Alexander Shorokhoff will be determined by the capacity, because at the end of the day, it's a family-run, small organization.
Yeah, sure.
Each watch is hand-created, and they have very limited editions of every style that they create.
That's right. Yeah.
Every watch that they create is between 30 and 100 pieces at most.
Sure.
So obviously, we will have a very calibrated expansion of it. We're starting off with 6 Helios stores. and then we'll see how it goes depending on our ability to provide, because we need to do full justice to the brand's representation
Absolutely.
wherever we are
Yeah.
present in.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with 6 stores and then we'll see how it goes.
So the first 6 positions would be probably in the
Primarily in the metros
that
and
would
the
be-
airport
yeah,
stores. Yeah.
Fair enough. I think the airport stores are doing very well for Helios
Oh, they're
Luxe.
doing phenomenally
Right.
well. What gives me great pleasure is the fact that despite sitting amongst a whole lot of established popular brands,
Mhm.
there's so much consumer love that these independent story-rich
Yes.
brands
Yeah.
are discovering,
Yeah.
which tells
True.
me that consumers are no longer seeking just these status markers.
Absolutely.
They're looking at stories which can reflect their own life
sure.
journey.
Certainly. I think that would actually work better for a brand like Alexander Shorokhoff because
Absolutely.
exclusivity and rarity is kind of the name of the game these days.
If you don't get to buy it now, you will probably never get it, because that's how
Yeah.
they are. I mean, they have very limited supplies
Absolutely.
of
No,
these
I get it. Yeah.
watches, and our job is to ensure that our consumers get to experience the brand
Sure. And the fair representation
and
of
the
the
fair
brand.
representation.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, where's Helios Luxe headed next? What's happening?
So Helios Luxe is, like I said, it's on a very fast track trajectory, uh, driven by multiple factors: the whole macroeconomy, the rising tide,
Sure.
which is lifting all boats, the rising interest of consumers in international story-rich
Right.
brands, the growth of the accessible luxury segment, and our own understanding and insights of the India, not just in metros, but even in tier 2, tier 3 towns,
Right.
where Helios Luxe will expand.
Right.
Over the next 4-5 years, we're looking at scaling up Helios Luxe alone
Sure.
to around 100 stores.
That's fantastic. Wow. And you're telling me at this point that even tier 2 and tier 3 cities have enough demand for luxury products that you would actually looking to expand into the rest of the country?
60% of India's wealth is actually sitting in tier 2, tier 3
that's
towns.
true. That's a fact, yeah.
It's just that you need a lot of consumer inciting and catchment insights
Sure.
to be able to identify where to go.
Fair.
And that is a job that we as partners to various independent brands that we are bringing in, exclusive brands that we are bringing in, is a job for us to do.
Certainly.
And roughly 30 to 35% of our stores will be in tier 2 and tier 3 towns.
Fantastic. I think better tidings for everybody involved. I'm very happy to know that. And of course, this has been a very insightful conversation with you, Rahul. Ladies and gentlemen, you should definitely visit your Helios Luxe store because that's where the action is happening. And like I said, this has been a wonderful episode. Thank you for your time today, and it really means a lot that you spoke to Chronoholic.
Always a pleasure, Karan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.